welcome back to The Witcher. I really enjoyed the first episode. Definitely had its differences from the books and everything, but it's a show, it's a different thing, it's totally fine. Well, this must be a dream or some kind of vision. Well, this is quite the trip. Interesting way to start the episode, that's for sure. So who are they captured by?
Who knows, maybe we'll be friends yet again.
Perhaps. Maybe. Oh, it's the elves, Philivandrel. Again, a little bit of a broken record here, but this did not happen in the book. And who is this?
This one was a captive of Nilfgaard.
Oh.
I'm also an elf.
Do you sing our songs?
Well...
Do you honor our elders?
No, but...
Have you ever shed a tear over anything elven? You are no elf.
Not human enough for the humans, not elven enough for the elves. I know you're not gonna kill Yennefer, like... Shut up, go away. Yes. The episode is called Kaer Morhen, so I'm hoping they get there, like, now, not at the end of the episode. That would be preferable. Hey, that's cool.
How many did you say there were?
I didn't.
In the book, there's like 5 of them at Kaer Morhen.
There were 20.
What? Yeah, there's a lot more of them than there were in the book. No. Alright, so which one is Lambert? Which one is Cohen? I definitely saw Vesemir already. Well, this is definitely way different than how it played out in the book, because Ciri was, like, terrified of them at first. She's like, oh, sorry.
Princess Cyrilla of Sintra. Pleasure to meet you.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah, they've definitely made Ciri much braver than she is in the book. And she also is older, so...
So you're telling me...
What are you looking for, Ciri?
Wholesale slaughter of her kingdom. How?
I asked.
She screamed really loudly. It was pretty
lied.
cool.
And how I can help her?
You say that.
You
But remember
will
what happened the
try.
last. What if your princess is more than you bargained for?
It's
I
definitely...
know that already.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely more than you bargained for, but still gotta do it.
Eskel.
Oh, that's Eskel? Definitely not what I was picturing, but I can roll with it.
All this, they're all shells.
Seems like they've changed his character a lot, because in the book he's like the nicest of all the Witchers. He's very much just like, oh, you know, sorry for looking so scary and everything. What do you need? I'm here to help. Like, he was very nice to Ciri and Triss and everything. Aw, she still has the sash. You two just chilling. Like, you know, we may be captives, but it is so pretty out here.
I've dreamt of one in red.
Ah, so one in
And I
red,
hope
one
these
in
dreams
white,
are
one
one
in
in
black. I don't know what the fuck that means,
Shared
but
dreams are a powerful omen.
interesting.
That's what I'm talking
What has been need not always be.
That's true.
I know
Just
these
be
ruins
careful
will bear
about
answers.
the route you take to
Visions
do
I've had
that.
since entering.
I'm not sure why you're so upset. It seems like she wants what's best for everybody.
If you free us, perhaps we can work together. Figure out their meaning.
It's not a bad plan.
We found something!
Damn. That was like the worst timing ever.
Very close.
That was very close.
Training is dangerous.
That's also different. They were pretty
the man with the black
eager
ring
to train
helmet.
her.
And you want to kill him?
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
Why?
I hate him.
It's good enough for me. Let's go.
We kill to save lives. Do you understand?
Fine, I guess.
What's that?
Yeah, what is that? Oh. What on earth is going on here?
I bathed basilisk blood from your hair.
It was wyvern blood. You shouldn't be here.
She'd have the boys eating out of her hand.
Ooh, be careful what you say.
And he says he's not a father.
Gotcha. This is a drastic change from the book for them to have like a bunch of prostitutes at Kaer Morhen.
They shouldn't be here.
Yeah, they really shouldn't be here.
Certainly not how they got here.
I mean, fair point, I guess, but there's no way Vesemir would disclose the location of this place to just random people. Like, there's no way. This is like such a drastically different Escol. I was kind of willing to roll with it at first, but I don't know. I don't really like the change.
Do you humans ever stop talking?
Do you elves ever answer questions? We could play that game all day.
The arrival of monsters.
The conjunction of the spheres.
Very cool.
My guide's not Ethelyn. It's a mirror.
It's like, I don't remember seeing what Yennefer's looked like. If they all see someone different, then it must be... I don't know.
Perched on basilisk legs. She would lure the children in to be boiled and eaten.
Isn't that Baba Yaga's thing? Like the house with
My brother's right.
chicken legs or something? Well, that's rather ominous, and I... Turn your back to the forest.
calling us.
Okay, but I'm gonna peace out.
Hang on until we've returned.
That doesn't seem like a good idea.
Did she and I get a vote on joining your prayer circle?
Probably not.
What do you think?
It's a very cool looking sword. Is that gonna be the sword that Ciri ends up getting at some point?
Some say she still calls to the unfortunate souls unlucky enough to cross her woods, lures them in to devour them.
He's not referring to what's going on with Yennefer and Fringilla, is he? Ugh. It's horrible. What the fuck? What is happening? So far, aside from Ciri and Geralt arriving at Kaer Morhen,
If you dreamt of
everything
Emily,
in this episode is like
why were you so terrified when
a
you woke?
divergence from the source material. Yeah, no, this just doesn't seem like a good idea.
The dreams don't mean what you think.
Behold the mother of forests.
No, you're stupid. You're
The deathless mother
stupid.
resting
You're
in
gonna regret
dreams.
this so much.
Turn your back. Hut. Hut.
No, this is not good. This is not good. What? The book?
I told you how to fend for yourselves.
Sounds like that's exactly what you need to do with Ciri.
Stay and fight.
Alright.
Into a girl's room raving about a sword, you moron! Stand guard outside!
I don't know if they've said it already, but this must be Lambert, because he seems like the dumbass of the group, which is definitely Lambert's, like, main shtick. It's so weird to see so many Witchers. Like, I didn't expect to see this many. This cannot be good. This cannot be good.
Don't be
Ooh, I
scared.
really like that,
I'm here to help you.
camera choice right there.
Power. That's what you live for.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, it's rather desperate.
It's so creepy hearing the other voices like overlap on it.
Believing in oneself.
Conceiving one's destiny.
Uh-huh.
Well, imagine if it
The
were.
fuck was that? Like, this demon is offering a lot, but what is it asking for?
Yours was obvious too.
So, the demon wants Francesca and Fringilla to, like, team up?
Pure elf for years.
Why?
Why haven't you thought to portal yourself free?
It's a good point. Maybe just do that right now.
You felt it since Sodden. You blew it at Sodden.
It's just an illusion. This is all just bullshit.
Fire is dangerous magic.
Alright then. No, you can stay in that form. Actually, they look pretty cool like that. You can you can stay like that. Again, I have no idea what's really going on, but that was a pretty cool scene. What do we have here? Oh my god. That looks like a very awful way to die. So far, so good. Not so great. Very not so great. Time to get free. Does someone want to help? Wait, did Eskel like turn into that thing? What the? That shouldn't even be possible. Like, Witchers can't be mutated. Regardless, that looks really cool. Oh, that was very nice. Ow.
You could help me.
Well, maybe you should have told him about it if you wanted help.
Look, we have to stay.
Yeah,
Geralt,
I would recommend staying put, but you do whatever you want.
Witches. Go.
Okay, bye-bye. Very nice. Smooth. Okay.
We need time. We can save you.
I don't know about that. It does not seem like he can be saved from this. That was pretty dope what he did with his sword. Did he like cast Igni on it or something? Because that was pretty cool. And the visual effects on the Eskel Leshy looks really, really good. I find it so strange though that his character was changed so much and now he's dead. Because
Don't worry, you're free.
are you?
What did you ask for?
An end to these nonsense.
To live as ever.
No, I was like, I don't think Yennefer asked for anything.
If she really is that evil,
I wonder if there was more to that we didn't see or something. Oh, that's so sweet.
We're safe now.
Never really safe, but it's over. No way did she actually lose her magic. That will piss me the fuck off. They did not do that.
A chance to survive the horror.
Oh, does that mean you're gonna train her? Come on. This better be super temporary, dude.
Just keep your sword close and keep moving.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Hell no to everything going on with Yennefer right now. Hell yes to everything going on right here. Alright. So it looks like we're not getting the time jump where they basically skip most of her training here. And we're actually going to get to see it. On one hand, I feel like that might be a mistake considering all the stuff they still have to do, but on the other hand, I do kind of want to see some of this training. Alright, okay. It was a mixed bag episode for me. There were some things in that I really disliked and some things that I really liked, so. Well, like I said, this episode has some really good and some really bad. It starts off with Yennefer having her vision from this demon, witch, whatever it is. And I liked the whole storyline, even though it's all, a complete divergence from the book. All up until the point where they reveal that Yennefer now doesn't have her magic. To me, that is an unwise choice. Because for one, in the book, she never loses her magic. And two, her whole thing is she is like the ideal image of a completely independent, powerful woman. Like, she lives in a world that likes to subjugate and use women as objects, and she stands above so many others because of how much power she has. Like, she is one of the most powerful mages currently alive. So for them to take that power away, I don't know, it seems obvious they're gonna do that to explore, who she is without her magic. Like, what can she do without it? But her magic is who she is. I don't know, I really don't like that choice. I think that is going to sour her storyline for the rest of the season, or for however long she does not have her magic. Like I said, I hope it's a short thing. Like, fix this shit by the next episode, please. But all the stuff with the demon in, the hut in the woods, I thought that was actually pretty cool. That was both some very creative, visual storytelling, the different styles they would use for either the visions or what each of them saw in the hut. So yeah, the whole deal with the devil storyline I think is kind of cool, but not at the expense of her magic, man. And everything going on with Geralt and Ciri, again, I really liked the scenes with them together. Once again, their father-daughter dynamic is really nice to see develop. And I love that they end with him, starting to train her. And the more I think about it, the more I'm actually excited that we're going to see the training as opposed to just jumping way ahead of it. Like, both are effective ways to tell that story. It's just, sometimes it's nice to see the progression, you know, slowly build up. But everything they did with the other Witchers was not really a fan of all that. Because Eskel, like, I wouldn't consider Eskel to be like a super important character or anything, but they just changed him so much. Like, Vesemir, for the most part, acted like Vesemir would, with the exception of him letting a whole bunch of prostitutes into Kaer Morhen. I still think that is kind of ridiculous. Even from a storytelling standpoint, I'm like, this is supposed to be a super secretive location for the Witchers to stay safe in. The last time too many people knew about it, you know, they nearly killed every single Witcher, so for them to just be bringing in random people, that seems kind of insanely stupid. And I'm upset I don't get to see Eskel like he's supposed to be, man. Eskel is like the really nice, sweet Witcher. I mean, I guess Cohen's actually pretty sweet towards Ciri as well. But I mean, Eskel's like the gentle giant, sort of. Like, Triss talks about how his like magical presence is way stronger than Geralt's is. He acts more like gentlemanly than the rest of them do, and he apologizes for, you know, whenever someone's being a dick to Triss or Ciri or something. So, I don't know. I don't like that they changed it to, oh, he's infected with this Leshy thing, so he's a total asshole to everybody. I'm like, that's not Eskel, man. That's not Eskel. I am kind of curious, though, that they pointed out the fact that he shouldn't have been able to, you know, be mutated by the Leshy. And again, I feel like that's, you know, a fabrication for the show and everything, but if they do that well, that could be kind of interesting. Somehow this monster, or like monsters, are able to now get past the Witcher's natural defenses. That could be interesting. And moving into the technicals. Writing. This, I think, was the weakest aspect of this episode. Again, I think it's incredibly stupid for Vesemir to allow any of the Witchers to bring a bunch of prostitutes to Kaer Morhen. Also seems wildly out of character for any of them to even want to do that. So I don't know, it seemed like a kind of cheap way for the show to be like, oh, let's get some more naked girls on this show. I think we're lacking in that department right now. And again, choosing to have Eskel be such a different character and then turn into a monster and die, not a fan of that choice, but it does have the potential to set things up for, you know, other Witchers not having their natural defenses to rely on anymore, which I think that could lead to some cool stuff, so I'll kind of hold my breath on that one. Again, I think the writing leading up to the big reveal with Yennefer is all quite good and very interesting and creative, but the choice of taking away Yennefer's power is, I think, a huge mistake. So yeah, I think character motivations were kind of wildly off for several characters. And there wasn't a huge amount of plot progression in this one, but there was a little bit. We got some good character building stuff with Ciri and a couple of the other Witchers. The fact that she's now starting her training with Geralt. The reveal, as much as I hate it, of Yennefer not having her magic anymore and now potentially having made a deal with a demon. I don't know if she made a deal or not. They didn't really clarify on that one. It seems the other two did, which, you know, is not good. And of course it, you know, introduces us to the character of Francesca altogether. I don't remember a Francesca in the book Blood of Elves. Maybe I just forgot and she was part of the Scoia'tael, but I don't think so. I vaguely remember a Francesca who was an elf from the games, but I don't know if that's the same character or not. But either way, they set her up to be, you know, a big player in this season. And the pacing was actually rather good. I think the pacing wasn't really an issue here. They did a good job going back and forth between emotional moments and then intrigue and then like a little bit of action back to more intrigue. Like, they did a good job keeping you interested and moving along throughout this episode. But I do think a lot of the choices for the writing in this episode were not good, especially when it comes to certain character motivations, so I'm going to go for a 5 out of 10. Editing. There were actually some really strong choices in this one for editing. I think the fight scene with Geralt had some really good choices where there were some pretty long takes of him like slashing at the roots, but they would kind of pick up on the editing again on actions or movements, which I think is very important. And of course the whole like demon sequence I thought was very well edited, intentionally like very flashy and in your face about it, but considering it's supposed to be a super disorienting and like otherworldly kind of moment, I think the jarring like jump cuts and like flashes to white and everything actually were really well done here. Maybe a bit heavy-handed, but I think it really worked for the scene. So for editing, I'm gonna go for a 10 out of 10. Cinematography, I think, was also very strong in this episode. They did like a mounted camera moment where the 3 women who are having their visions with the demon, like when they're all lifting themselves up, it's like a mounted camera on their chest, and it had a very cool effect. Unless they just like tracked motion to their faces, I don't know. There was also a really cool shot of Geralt during the fight with Eskel, where he like rolls over the table and the camera flips with him. It was completely unnecessary, but it was cool. Like, it added a bit of flair and creativity to the fight, and it made it exciting. I liked it. And some of the lighting choices in this episode I think were very, very strong. So for cinematography, I'm gonna go for a 10 out of 10. Sound design. I actually think the sound design was very well done here as well. I made a comment in the first episode that it seems they've changed the sound of the score on the show, and they definitely have, but I noticed this time around that the guitar and the bass and the more stringy instruments that were super prominent in the first season, they're still all there, but they're just layered with so many more instruments and like different sounds that it's if anything, it's just more of a full sound than it was in the first season, but still quite similar and quite good. And I love the sound choices that they did for the demon sequence, because again, it was very bold and in your face, sometimes maybe just a bit too much so, but I am a fan of making strong choices and rolling with it. I will say the sound design didn't impress me quite as much as like the last 2 categories, so I'll go for a 9 out of 10. Acting, I think, was also very good. You know, writing choices aside, the actors did very well with what they were given. I think the standout in this episode was Anya Chalotra. She does a fantastic job with Yennefer. It is a quite different character, I think, from the book version, but not so much so that it, you know, bothers me at all. And she plays this version of the character with a lot of nuance and the same, like, dignified power that Yennefer is supposed to have, which is another reason I really dislike this choice about them taking away her magic. But to see her like utter despair over losing this power, I think she really sold that moment and everything. So I'll do another 9 out of 10. Costumes and makeup. I think it was actually very well done here. I do think some of the contact lenses are just, like, they're well made, they are, but contact lenses just kind of distract me. I really wish we would get to a point in film where we can just digitally, you know, grade the color of people's eyes instead of having to have them wear contact lenses. I know they do that sometimes in this show, usually with Yennefer or Ciri. In the moments where they do, I think it looks so much better. like it doesn't pull me out of the moment when it's done like that. But when they're wearing, you know, really thick colored contacts, it does kind of pull me out of it. Most of the wigs that they used here, I think, were quite good. Nothing stood out to me as, you know, poorly made or anything. I say that, but Vesemir's wig actually, it's not great. It's not horrible either, but I really, really liked the costumes for the elves. I usually do in most like fantasy media, but they just had like so many intricate designs on them, really earthy tones and everything. It looked really, really good. So I'll do a 7 out of 10. Set design, I think, once again was really, really good. The look of Kaer Morhen is fantastic. Maybe not quite as beat up as I would have imagined from the book, but I think they did a fantastic job regardless. And even the set of, you know, the hut in the woods with no door, like it was appropriately ominous, and the inside of it definitely, you know, reminds you of like a witch's cottage, which I think was very cool. So for set design, I'm gonna go for a 10 out of 10. And finally, visual effects. Honestly, I think the visual effects were outstanding in this episode. Unfortunately, I can't do like a full 10 out of 10 just because of a couple particular moments during the demon sequence. But the standout of the episode for sure was the Eskel monster. You know, story-wise, I don't really like the choice, but damn, that looked really, really good. Like, it's clear they did a mixture of practical effects and visual effects. I'm assuming the same with Nivellen, and honestly that really does seem to be the way to go. Like when you blend the two together, it looks incredibly real. There were moments during that whole fight sequence where I was like, holy shit, that looks better than a lot of movies I've seen. But during the demon sequence, especially when the little girl, you know, transforms into the actual, like, witch form, I see what they were going for, and it wasn't a terrible effect, you know, all the people blending together, but it didn't look that great either. That definitely felt television as opposed to Hollywood. So just for that, I'm gonna do a 9 out of 10, but again, the stuff they did with Eskel was really phenomenal. And something I'm gonna do a little different now with the final score. Basically, if I thought the episode was okay, I'll leave the score as is. If I really, really liked it, I'll add a point to it. And if I overall disliked it, I'll subtract a point from it. And in this case, I'm going to subtract a point because there were a lot of choices I really did not like. So the overall score of this episode is going to be a 7.6 out of 10. Again, the potential for the Witchers, you know, not being able to, you know, not worry about being infected by any of the monsters anymore is a curious update. I'd like to see where they go with that. I enjoyed the whole demon sequence. I enjoyed the fight with, you know, the Eskel monster. But to do that with Eskel's character, I'm not a fan of that at all. What they did with the Witchers in general at Kaer Morhen, I'm not really enjoying some of the choices that they're making there. But I love that we're going to get to see more of Ciri and, you know, Geralt training together. And as much as I don't like the choice of taking Yennefer's magic away, they have the potential to do some very cool things with that. So, you know, fingers crossed that they actually make the most of this opportunity. Forced opportunity. So I will see you all in the next one. And that is about it.